CS6 has 6 different type tools: type, area type, type on a path, vertical area type, and vertical type on a path. There are 3 tools for horizontal type, which goes across the screen. Then there are 3 tools for vertical type that goes top to bottom on the screen. This lesson will teach you how to work with type in Illustrator. The type tools are located in the toolbox. You can click and hold on the type tool to see all the type tools grouped with it. Type creates type that's not associated with a path. With it, you can type along the edge of an open path or inside a closed path. Area type creates type that's inside an open or closed path. Type on a path will create type along the outer edge of an open or closed path. Vertical type works like the type tool, except the type is vertical. Vertical type area works like the area type tool, except it's vertical. Vertical type on a path works like the type on a path tool, except it's vertical. Let's use the type tool to start with. Click on a blank area on an artboard. You'll see a flashing vertical line, just as you would in word processing programs. This means you can start typing. Once you're finished typing, you can use the selection tool to move the text to another location if you want. Simply click on the text. A bounding box will appear around it. Now the text above is kind of small, so before we learn about the other type tools, let's learn how to format text in Illustrator. To format our text, we're going to use the Type panel. Go to Window, Type. You'll then see the menu options. Let's go through these one by one to learn how to format our text. First, let's select Character. Here is where we can change the type of font. Myriad Pro is the font type we're using. However, we can change that to a different font, perhaps Times New Roman. Go to the Character panel and select a new type of font. Let's select Arial. We're also going to change the size to 18, but I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. The font is now changed. Now we can change the font style. We can change the type to bold, italics, or regular. In the bottom part of the Character panel, we can change the font size. We can also change the spacing between lines of type, or the leading. Then we can change the kerning. It's the bottom box on the left. The kerning is the space between characters. We can also change the tracking, which is the bottom box on the right. The tracking is the adjustment of space for groups of characters or blocks of text. Now click the Paragraph tab at the top of the Type panel. In this panel, we can format our paragraphs, including indentions. If you've ever used a word processing program before, then some of these buttons may look familiar to you. The first button aligns all text to the left. The next button centers it. The third button aligns text to the right. The next one justifies all text so it's in a block with all lines even. However, the last line is aligned to the left. This one justifies all text so it's in a block with all lines even. However, the last line is centered. The next one justifies all text so it's in a block with all lines even. However, the last line is aligned to the right. And this last one justifies all text so it's in a block with all the lines even. Let's look at the rest of your options in this panel. This sets the left indentation. This will indent all lines. Enter a number to set the indentation. This sets the indentation for the first line of text. It's indented from the left. This sets the right indentation. This allows you to specify an amount of space before a paragraph. And with this, you can specify an amount of space to be left after a paragraph. If you leave the hyphenate box checked, Illustrator will hyphenate words that break from one line to the next. Tabs are used to advance to a sequence of set positions within type. There are 4 types of tab stops: left, right, center, and decimal, which is used for numbers. Let's see how they work. To set tabs, go to Window, Type, Tabs. Let's go to our text in our document and add an insertion point between the words Adobe and Illustrator. The insertion point is where our cursor is. Now go to the Tabs panel that we just opened. If you want to use default tabs, then press the Tab key on your keyboard to shift text to the next tab stop. You can see the tab breaks inserted in our text. To move the tabs panel next to the text so you can create your own tab stops, click Position Panel Above Text on the panel. Your panel is now above your text. Now you can insert a tab stop. Let's look at our tab stop buttons. From right to left, you have Left Justified Tab, Center Justified Tab, Right Justified Tab, and Decimal Justified Tab. Click one of those buttons. We've clicked Left Justified Tab. Then click in the ruler where you want to add the tab stop. We're adding ours where our cursor is. Now a little arrow that matches our Left Justified Tab button is inserted on our ruler. Glyphs are hieroglyphic characters or symbols, such as the @ sign. To work with glyphs in Illustrator, go to Window, Type, Glyphs. You can then see the glyphs that you can use. Scroll down within the panel to look at all of them. You can also set the font type and style for your glyphs or scroll in or out to get a closer look at the glyph shown in the panel. Click on the place in your document where you want to insert a glyph. Double-click on the glyph in the panel to insert it. Now that we've learned how to format text, let's learn about the rest of the type tools that you can use, starting with the Area Type tool. Remember, the Area Type tool is grouped with the Type tool. With this tool, you can add text inside the path of any object. Let's add text inside the path of this rectangle. Now click on the edge of the rectangle's path. Your cursor now appears inside the object and you can start to type your text. The Vertical Area tool works in the same way, except the text is vertical. Select the Vertical Area tool. Click on the edge of the path of the next rectangle, then start to type. The Type on a Path tool allows you to type on a path. Go ahead and select the Type on a Path tool. Now select the edge of our path. The cursor will appear and you can start to type. The Vertical Type on a Path tool works the same way, except the text is vertical. Click on our vertical line and start to type. Remember, to edit text, select it with the Selection tool. You can import text from a document, such as from Microsoft Word, into your Illustrator document. You use the Place command to do this. Go to File, Place. Find the file that you want to place, then click Place. Now you can select the information from the document that you want to include. You can also remove text formatting if you want by checking the box Remove Text Formatting. Then click OK. The text from the document is now placed in Illustrator. You can select the text to edit it. Using the Selection tool, you can shrink or expand the object that the text is in. If we click in a blank area to deselect everything, the text appears in our document just as if we had used Illustrator to add it.